The only other space was below deck, where Mildred kept her equipment, along with a small hard bed for long journeys and a gas ring stove. A door at one end led to the engine room. Rose realised that they must be below deck, where they were unlikely to be seen or heard. Not that anyone would be looking anyway, in the dark and out at sea. But why were they here? "Oh, here you are," Flora said, as she wriggled alongside Rose. "It's as dark as the night in here." "It's Mildred's boat," Rose said, in case her mum wasn't aware. "I'd know it anywhere." "I know, love. It even has the smell of Mildred about it." Despite their predicament, and feeling afraid, both women laughed. "We really need to get free of these ropes. Then we won't be at a disadvantage if anyone comes back who wishes to do us harm," Flora said. "What I intend to do is wriggle down to where your feet are and see if I can unpick the knots in the rope around your ankles. It's going to be hard, as my wrists are bound tight, and I just have my fingers to work with. Hold on," she added, as she shuffled along on her bottom until she was close to Rose's feet. After what felt like an age, Flora gave a quiet but triumphant cheer, and Rose felt the ropes fall slack around her ankles. She shook them loose and stretched her legs, enjoying the freedom. At least now, if anyone came back, she would be able to kick out at them. That's if this hadn't been part of an elaborate joke. "I may be able to reciprocate and untie your feet," she said to her mum. "See if you can pick apart the knots at my wrists first," Flora said, leaning as close as she could. "Go slow and steady," she instructed, as Rose started to pick. By the time Flora's hands were free, Rose's fingertips were swollen and sore. Gingerly, Flora pulled herself to her feet, feeling the low ceiling above her head. "I'm going to find the hatch to see how far out at sea we are." "Be careful, Mum. There may be someone up on the deck," Rose said fearfully, hoping Flora would hurry and release her wrists. With them bound, she knew she couldn't do much if anyone came below deck. "There's no sign of anyone. It's pitch black out there, from the little I can see," Flora called out. "We could be anywhere. Why would anyone do this to us? Has something happened at Seaview, do you think?" "I have no idea. My head is fuzzy and I can't remember much," Rose said, feeling her head spin. "I really need to get up and move about before I'm sick. Lying here is not helping. Do you think you can release me? Then I'll help you with the rope round your ankles. Be careful, though," she added, as Flora stumbled to her side. "I could have untied my own feet if I'd been thinking straight. Silly me," Flora tried to grin, fighting off a sob. "Who would do such a thing?" Rose could only shake her head. She had no idea. Once the women had freed themselves, they stood up and rubbed their cold, aching limbs. Rose felt along the side of the boat until she came across a cupboard and began to rummage about. "I wouldn't be surprised if Mildred has a drop of something in here that we could drink to warm ourselves up. She always used to, although she told me it was medicinal," she laughed, her tinkling voice echoing through the small boat. "Here we are. Although have no idea what it is," she added, as she tried to pull out the cork. "Take it over to the hatch. There may be a label you can read. The last thing we want is for you to poison yourself." Flora shivered. "Perhaps we should be looking for a blanket. I don't know about you, but I'm frozen to the bone wearing just my best frock and no cardigan." "At least you have your best pinny on," Rose smiled, although she too was shaking due to the cold. "It's another layer of clothing." As they made their way to the open hatch, Flora slipped her hand into the pocket of her crossover pinny and gave a shout of delight. "Oh, we won't starve," she declared, waving a carrot above her head. "I'd gone to the kitchen to find a carrot for young Pearl to leave out for Father Christmas's reindeer. I was returning to the front room when—" She shook her head in confusion. "I don't remember what happened after that." Rose slipped her arm around her mum's shoulder, sensing her fear at not remembering. "I went out to the kitchen to see where you'd got to, as Pearl was ready to post a letter up the chimney to Father Christmas. The light was off in the hall, and then someone grabbed me."